Guys, releases are not created equally. Now, before I dive into that, these three releases are all made from the same company and they're all a super high-end, high-quality release. But I don't shoot them the same at all. I shoot one of them really, really poorly. I shoot one of them good, and then I shoot one of them really good. Now, and I'll tell you what is so interesting to me. So if you look, these are all from Hot Shot Archery, which makes a phenomenal release at a great price point. But here's what I find interesting about these three releases and the way that I shoot them. This Ember is completely a different shape than the other two. It's got a different weight, a different feel. It's just a different shape. So you've got the Ember, you've got the Tempest, and then you've got the X Spot. Now, here's what's interesting. The Ember is a complete different shape. These two really are the same shape except for the Hot Shot, or I'm sorry, except for the X Spot, the knuckle. You have the complete wraparound on the knuckle. But other than that, they're the exact same shape. Here's what's interesting. I shoot the Tempest. I shoot it absolutely horribly. I cannot be consistent with this release. I've tried all different travels, all different tensions. I just can't shoot this release. I shoot the Ember. I shoot it pretty good. This could be a go-to release for me. I could definitely shoot this if I needed to, but I shoot the X Spot really, really well. Now remember, it's really the same exact shape as the one that I shoot poorly. So I don't know if because of the extra material for the wraparound on the knuckle, I just like the weight of it better. I don't know if because of that extra material, it just balances better in my hand. All I can tell you is I tried forever to shoot that Tempest well and just couldn't. And I shoot the X Spot really well. So I tell you all that to tell you this. Don't just pick a release that's a high quality, expensive, nice release from a reputable company and just decide on that one. Because that's really what I did with the Tempest. And then I just could not figure it out. And so I ordered the Ember and the X Spot to see just differences in how I shoot them. And honestly thinking I was going to like the Ember better because it was a complete different shape, but I fell in love with the X Spot. So here's what I want to encourage you to do. Go into a Scheels, go into a Lancaster's, somewhere that has a whole bunch of different releases, and just shoot all of them. Because what you might find, I have found that releases that cost $100 less than other releases, I shoot better. Because it just fits better in my hand, it feels better, I shoot it better. So go into a store, try out all of the different releases and find which one is going to work best for you. Because people can give you all of these different reviews on releases and say this is the best release I've ever found. I've heard that about releases and I shoot it and absolutely hate it. So there are releases that people are just going to fall in love with that just is not going to work for you. It's not going to work for your hand. It's not going to balance well. You're not going to anchor well. You're going to be sloppy with it. If it doesn't fit in your hand well, you're going to be trying to move it around and find something that fits. Now, I will tell you this. With these releases, again, I can make this one shoot good for me. I hold it differently than I hold this release. I execute the shot just a bit differently because that third finger is just a little bit further back. There's some differences in these releases. So if I go to pick this release up, I spend time learning it and I spend time figuring out what it likes, what I like about it. Even though I shoot this one poorly, there are things that I can do a little bit differently, hold it a bit differently, a little bit different hand pressures than I would even with the Ember, the X Spot, to make that release work. So if you find a release that you like just right out of the package, that's usually the one I want to go with because I don't want to have to fight what I normally like to do to make a release work for me. So for me, the X Spot, it just works for me right out of the package. Now don't get me wrong, I adjusted the tension and I adjusted the travel a little bit to fit me. But as far as the release went, it just worked for me right out of the package. I didn't have to adjust a bunch of things and try to make it work for me. So guys, go to a store and try out a whole bunch of different releases and find what's going to work for you.